Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We've got a lot on the agenda for today, but for now, we're just kind of cooling our heels, making sure that we're able to get our overall political situation solidified. Our finances are looking really solid. We're actually in right at a balance point. Although I say this as I say this as a cat who's about to build 4 more levels of government admin, but you know, that's for other stuff. How much infamy is it actually going to cost us to annex Persia? 30.5. All right, so we're going to need to get actually all the way down to 0 infamy before we can fully embrace that strategy. On the other hand, there's a chance we could annex Oman. It would only be 1.6 infamy, and I don't think anyone's likely to fight us over it. Still, I'm going to not do that because I'm still miffed that Eritrea didn't go to Ethiopia. I'm kind of... Frankly, hold on. I feel like that's just an error. Can't trade states because they're not happy with us. But they'll be happy later, when we've traded them the states they want. I hope somebody writes a play about wealth voting. That would be nice. So once we get done with vacuum canning, which is really going to help with our food industries, I think it'll be time. Ahmed Manas to enact propertied women. He's a local governor's reformer. Interesting. I think it'll be time to go back to military techs. So we've got quite a few left over in Tier 3. Military statistics is probably going to be a big want because that's going to improve tactics. That's going to unlock a new tactics tech. Wargaming is going to do the same. But that one's a level 4, so that's going to be some time before we have access to that. I would love to get Trenchworks. Trenchworks is going to take a full... Russia wants a trade agreement. Heck yes. Hey! A popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the wealth, in the midst of the wealth surrounding debate voting, in the midst of the debate surrounding wealth voting, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the intelligentsia, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. Let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience. Kablamzo. Oh, Infertile Grounds. Is that the guy who just appeared? It is. Cool. You gotta go. Stop trying to make the local governors stronger. They don't need to be stronger. They need to be weaker. You need to be out of here, boyo. There's a movement to preserve landed voting, but I'm hoping that doesn't... It's causing quite a bit of radicalization, and I don't know why. No one benefits from landed voting. Alright, let's get the speed going up here. British Republic and French Republic are rivals now. I am going to improve relations with the British Republic, though, because despite everything, I don't necessarily want to have to fight them. Let's go ahead and queue in some oil wells. Oh, let's go ahead and queue in some rubber plantations. A bunch. We're going to get a bunch of those. What do I... Vulcanization... Machine steel tool... Oh! That's new. I didn't know that was there. Hold on. Tooling tech. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists complaining about. agriculture again. They serve our purposes. Machined steel tools. So this adds a rubber input and an increased steel input, but reduces the wood input really, really significantly. Oh, man. Gorsh. That is something I want. Heck. Yeah, that's for sure a place we're going to go. Because we need to have those tools. Let's go ahead and get these barracks built up first. Move them to the top of our queue here. Because we can get those done fairly quickly. Oh. Britain is importing a lot of our tobacco, which is just fine. We are using a lot of industry on tobacco. Food industries are still moderately productive. What kind of patent stills would be... Nope, no it would not. You lied to me, game. You said it was going to make you more productive, and it did not. I don't want to reduce the amount of furniture I output. How are we doing with the whole furniture and clothes thing? Furniture is doing fine. Luxury furniture is doing just fine. Clothes are doing great, and luxury... Where are luxury clothes? Luxury clothes are doing fine as well. In fact, I think we can export clothes. Oh my goodness, we can export the ever-loving daylights out of clothes. Excellent. Buy my clothes. They're trying to buy the clothes on my back, by which I mean out of my factories, a thing I wanted them to do. We do have a lot of potential growth for institutions. In particular, health system, I'm interested in bringing up. Proletarian revolt in Liberia. So this is actually really interesting. USA has really failed to knock out Mexico, which they often do in the early game. I think I'm going to go ahead and start improving relations with Mexico. Someone's always raising concerns. The intelligentsia want to be treated better than the industrialists. With this balance, I can go ahead and accept that. It seems like Russia is always important. I can talk. I'm a talksman. I do big talks. Might be worthwhile to get some workers' rights going, because in particular, I need to get my loyalists up, and it feels like I'm never really doing that. The play for power. Namik Burhan, leader of the rural folk, has made a remarkable play for power in the capital in order to secure a spot for the rural folk within the government. However, it's not entirely clear if they should be rewarded for their novel tactics. There's only one light in the street that leads to the rural folk headquarters. There's also only one light inside. There Namik Burhan relaxes among the sumptuous mahogany furniture and velvet cushions. The lamp is identical to those that have been sent from the east. The ends justify the means, and our means are very, very justified. It's difficult to not believe him when he offers an inviting seat by his side. Namik Burhan should be recognized for this, makes the rural folk 25% stronger, or not all is fair in love and war, it makes them much weaker. I think the rural folk are not, well, they're good people to be strong right now, so I'm gonna assent to that, because, spoiler alert, I think we're gonna be working on getting land reform done pretty soon. I'm not good at commercialized agriculture, I'm not sure. Let's take some time to look at the political situation in Europe. The Austrian-Hungarian Empire is still not particularly pleased with me. They're still an autocratic monarchy. They're allied with Russia, which is really interesting, and they're rivals with Prussia. Prussia is also an autocratic monarchy with a huge, dangerous movement to slightly liberalize their citizenship laws. They have a bunch of defensive pacts with small powers. They have one protectorate in the form of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, but no, and one puppet, no allies, and no major defensive pacts. French Republic is still bananas infamous. Their defensive pacts with Great Qing, interesting. As well as Venezuela, rivals with Great Britain and Russia, no ally. Finally, Italy has a defensive pact with Spain. No other major ally, no protectorates. Interesting. Things sure are getting interesting in Europe. Let's go ahead and move a little faster here. 9.2. We are doing a lot of work here. I'm going to go ahead and halt improving relations with Great Qing right now. And I'm going to do the same with Great Britain, just to get us some extra influence up here. I have a rivalry with Spain. I had a rivalry with the Netherlands for a long time, but not anymore. The temptation to try to make them into a protectorate is very, very high. Spain, you're rivaling me, but I don't think you're really serious about that. Second Ottoman fleet is still having a really hard time building up the number of ships it needs in order to function. Oh, submarines and carriers are in the support vessels type now. That's interesting. I'm really not sure why that's having such a hard time. And we're in ascent. That's wonderful. I think we're going to build up the main fleet a little bit as well. Not too much. Just a bit. And we'll do that all the way from the top, just to make sure those get done in a reasonable time frame. Because I want to get myself a little bit more power projection. So if I want to advance forward in... I think with production I'm going to go with vulcanization, because machine tools are nice. I don't think there's cavalry anymore. You got steel railway cars spreading to us. Oh my goodness. Radical British Republic. This is a parliamentary republic with wealth voting led by the petite bourgeoisie. And I have to say, the temptation to side with the Radical British Republic against the Communist British Republic is high. On the other hand, I could leave it and not participate, because anytime Great Britain is weak is a good time for us. There's also an Anglo-Indian peasant revolt, which is really interesting. So the whole British Empire is kind of coming apart at the seams. On the other hand, though, Could I get a piece of it? No, they're not going to give anything away. Alright, so we'll continue to stay outside that situation and let them kind of sort themselves out. That'll be just fine. How's our infamy? Still at 6.9. Still getting there. And there's steel frame buildings. Finally. British East African Aristocratic Revolt. Hold up. Is British East Africa its own country? It is. It's bananas. I don't even know how that happened. They're a puppet of Great Britain. Great Britain, your empire is coming apart at the seams. Still, it's time to go to work. We, Alright, so let's build 5 levels of steel mills in Ankara. Pop those up to the top. And then we'll do a lot of glassworks. Western Thrace is where we're building most of our glass. We don't have much labor available there. Thessaly has been a good place to go, but they're kind of on the frontier. So let's go with... I hate to keep going back to the well of Ankara, Konya, to Vendigar, but I think I'm going to have to. So, first things first. Somehow I think I might have coughed it with the construction industry, so we'll put one more level at the top here. And then we'll set it going, and then slowly we're going to flip these over to steel frame. Very good. Nothing good so far. Albania. It's costing us a pretty penny. And it's mostly glass. Alright, that's alright. We can tolerate the increase in glass prices. We're not maxed out on porcelain production. Let's queue in more levels. Let's do another 5 each in Ankara and Vendigar. There's wealth voting. Wonderful. And I think we're going to put these ones at the top of the iron mines. We're going to need to produce a lot more lead in order to make all this glass, I feel. Let's see if I'm right about that. How's the lead market? Lead market's pretty okay for now. Inputs in the glass industry are lead and dyes. How are dyes looking? Dyes could be better, but in order to ward off the problem associated with that, we can start mechanizing the dyes industry. In fact, we can probably fully mechanize the dyes industry before too long. Finances are doing okay. Steel prices are going up, but they're holding pretty okay for now. Got an election running. This is going to need a lot of supervision, so I'm focusing on this for the moment. We'll switch over to steel frame construction because we're going to be Needing to work our market a lot. How are porcelain prices? Porcelain prices are pretty low. Let's start an export route. The only country who's interested in buying is Java. At least the only country who's interested in buying a decent number of them is Java. We're going to be outputting a lot more porcelain as things go on, though, as these increase. So we'll see if that continues. Very good. Starting to build up the steel mills. Marching against peace. Protesters inspired by the fierce rhetoric of Said Ozal have carried out a march in Constantinople calling for military intervention against the communist regime in Oldenburg. What began as a few dozen shouting men in the streets swelled to a corpus numbering the thousands. What began as a peaceful demonstration grew to chants of fire and fury, all baying for blood. What began as a show of fear transformed into a call for action. Their demands were simple: tear out the Oldenburgian menace, no matter the cost. We must save the Oldenburgian people from ourselves. I don't want those radicals from standard of living decreases, but the people's energies are best spent on something more productive. I'm going to do the second one again, because I don't want those. I'm getting a lot of radicals from standard of living decreases. So, glass is doing okay for now. So I'm feeling pretty confident. With that, we are increasing the size of the steel industry as well. Let's go ahead and queue in more steel mills in Hood of Vendigar. No, we'll queue them in Ankara. We'll do both. We'll double up. And we'll do some in Northern Thrace as well, because there's available labor there. We're going to need a lot of steel to keep making this happen, so I'm not necessarily concerned about the overall cost. The overall amount, rather. Those rubber plantations in East Borneo are going to exist at some point. Just, you know, not soon. Go ahead and get another one of our main construction industries flipped over. That's a number I'm happy about. Let's see if it holds. Cool. All right. I vibe. Happy with that. Still trying to get enough glass to make this happen. Revolution in Australia as well. The British Empire is really being rocked with communist revolutions, I must say. They really haven't kept a hold of things. Ooh, modern nursing. Crisis in Paris. Discontent in the French Republic has led to the seizure of the city of Paris by revolutionaries. France is now split between two rival governments, that of Paris and that of Versailles. It was now midday, and the whole affair wore a most strange and incomprehensible aspect to one not brought up to making barricades. Instead of a government blocking every street, as was the case in the morning, a hostile cannon was now looking down every street. The Paris government has no leg to stand upon. Ottoman relationship towards the French Republic improves by 10. French Republic could use a change in government. Ottoman relations towards the French Republic deteriorates. Paris Commune will be advantaged in its struggle against the French Republic. Or we have no interest in this. Ottoman relations towards the French Republic deteriorates by 5. I'm going to stand with the current French Republic. They've been good allies to us over time. They've got a lot of infamy, though. We'll see what goes on. Meanwhile, we're still kind of... Microing is maybe a little bit of an overstatement, but we're working on this whole situation. Oh, I got some iron mines still in the way here. All right, we've had an election. And we are in the best possible location. The Conservative Party is... The local governors joined the Conservative Party, which I'm not happy about, but at least they're all together now. And we are as legitimate as we could possibly be, so I'm quite quite pleased with the overall setup we have achieved. And oil has been discovered in Basra. Wonderful. I do still want to ban slavery, but I think we've got some time to make that happen. How are we doing with the construction sectors? We're beginning to finish our next round of increases in steel production. I'm going to move 5 levels of steel mills above, so we're basically alternating in blocks of 5 between steel and glass. Georges Clemenceau has been exiled from the French Republic. Clemenceau, what are you doing? In the face of revolution, policemen chasing rumors of an allegedly planned communist uprising in eastern Thrace has stirred significant fear amongst the area's public. Local skeptics decry the disturbance as terrorism in itself. Not sure I understand, Superintendent. You want us to go to this block in the dead of night while everyone's asleep to raid this warehouse on suspicion that it might be a communist meeting place? That is exactly what I wanted you to do, Sergeant. Now, might I count on you to carry out this task, or shall I volunteer some men for you? If it doesn't materialize, then we'll have done our jobs. Upper stratum pops become more loyalist, lower stratum pops become more radical. Or there's no reason to believe this is credible. I'm going to do the first one. I'm not really concerned about discrimination in Eastern Thrace, because Eastern Thrace's population is virtually entirely... Oh no, we do have some Greek pops in Eastern Thrace. That's interesting. Fertilizer markets all over, all boosted up. I might be able to... I don't have improved fertilizers yet. Am I going to have improved fertilizers in a reasonable length of time? No, I am not. Okay, interesting. The Paris Commune is still going places. Is that really their flag? I'm pretty sure that's the flag of Romania. Am I? Yeah, that is the flag. Karl Marx. Oh no, you're not. Oh boy, we're getting more headlines. Red Revolution, yellow headlines. Newspapers sympathetic to the interests of the Sunni ulema have printed numerous stories about the revolutionary desires of communists in the Ottoman Empire. The articles paint lurid pictures of strikes and planned terrorism. The Red Plague festers. Correspondents from across the world have reported the unnatural stirrings of a thought most foul. Hold up, what do you mean? No, just exile. That man no longer be entitled to the sweat of his brow. That many hard-working Oldenburgian citizens no longer have natural rights to his property. And that his privacy be no more than a fleeting desire. This thought is communism, and it is coming for everyone in the Ottoman Empire. We must get the situation under control. More loyalists from the Sunni ulema, or we cannot have a panic on our hands, which weakens them. I'm going to do this first one again. We've got dedicated police already, so it's not like it's going to create an issue for us. How are we with infamy? Nearly done. But we've also got a massive industrial expansion we're working on. Here is steel railway cars. That's wonderful. Need to look at that. Communist criminality. Rumors about the atrocities of communists in Oldenburg have reached the Ottoman press, with reports about crimes against humanity and stacked corpses filling the front pages of newspapers. Did you hear of the bombings the other day? This time it was a lawyer, one of the big ones, advising the government. Another one? Heavens, that's the third this month. This is supposed to be a safe country. Safe? Bah, not with these communist rats running around. They'll kill us all if we don't kneel down first. Excuse me, who knew that people could be so barbaric? This makes upper stratum pops more loyal. They ought to publish something else for once. This weakens the industrialists, which I don't want. So we'll do the first one. Relations between me and Oldenburg have never been... they're cooperative towards me, which is bananas. Absolutely incredible. We're still getting there. I'm probably going to go until my infamy is fully decayed. Alright, glass is doing okay, steel is doing okay. Let's flip over some more construction sectors. Let's do 2 at a time. And we'll do more. Gotta get building faster. That still brings the price of glass upwards significantly. But as you can see, this is having a really large impact on our capacity for construction. The private construction queue is still not working as fast as I had hoped it would be, but the public construction queue is really, really huge. Let me see. We're using quite a bit. We're using about 400 construction capacity. The private sector is using about 180. So part of why our finances are really rough right now is because we're just using so much of the unified Germany and France. What the? Bavaria is trying to unify Germany. This is bananas. What is going on with you? Oh boy. All I was doing was trying to increase construction. Now everything is going sideways. Gosh, Russia sides with Bavaria. Spain sides with Bavaria. On the other hand, if all of them fight France, what can I get? Wait, I don't want to... Mexico sides with France. I don't know why I'm siding with Bavaria right now, but... because I'm not... Oop. They'll owe us an obligation. I'm going to decline, France. I know you and I are friends. But I'm actually really hoping that France just gets into this war and fights it, and then I'll be able to peacefully annex Persia. That's actually my game plan here. I'm still low on bureaucracy, but I can increase it. A mine in Mosul has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Mosul and the nation. They dug me out, but left my friend behind. That was all the foreman was able to get out of the wretched boy. Sooty rags clung to him like spindly strands of torn funeral jacket. Whether he held back tears for fear of a beating or to keep strong, the foreman did not know. He was spent for the day. The foreman hoped the manager had a mind for mercy. Options are: this is a small price to pay for the march of industry, which radicalizes, which makes the industrialists stronger, radicalizes lower stardom pops. This outrageous abuse the common man cannot stand, radicalizes upper stardom pops, but makes the trade unions stronger. Or these mines are a blight upon man and countryside alike, radicalizes middle stardom pops, and makes the rural folks stronger. I'm going to go with the top one. Strong industrialists. Alright, France. Conquer Spanish Eastern New Guinea. You really want my help with this. This? No. No, I don't. That tiny territory is not worth it. French Republic has added some war goals. Ban slavery in Spain. Interesting. This is going to be a big general European war. So again, I'm hoping it really pops off and then I can just... annex Persia. Oh, right. I was building up government admin. Let's put... Don't have any more labor in Eastern Thrace. Not going to do that. Let's see. Custom menu has some labor available, and Trabzon does as well. Quite a bit, actually. In fact... Perfect. And that is getting the lead needing to increase. So we'll go ahead and... Got plenty of lead mines in southern Serbia. Let's go ahead and put 8 levels in. I know this is riveting gameplay here, but... having a sensible order of operations for building stuff up is really quite valuable. I am going to bring these iron mines up here. I think they're useful. In fact, I'm just going to pop those ones that are almost done up to the top so that I don't have to worry about them anymore. And then we're going to pull the lead mines up in front of the government admin. Because the government admin's not going to be relevant until after the war. And I think it's going to be plenty of time before that really affects things. And in fact... I think we can put the lead ahead of 5 of these steel mills. Because the lead's going to make the glass cheaper to produce. Consolidating across multiple screens is always a little bit of a challenge. Especially when I lead back instead of forward. Quickly do this. I know, riveting gameplay, but it's important. Getting this game is like, I'm not going to say it's like 80% build orders, but it's not none percent build orders. Ankara is really where the really expensive flip over is going to be. In the meantime, we're going to need more fertilizer plants, and I've run out my my infrastructure levels in Ankara, which is not great. We'll go ahead and... Steam trains? I had no idea. Time for steam trains. In fact, we'll queue in a bunch in Ankara, and we'll pull them all the way up to the very top, because that's going to be really important in preparation for all the stuff we're going to do. How's infrastructure in Huda-Vendigar? Infrastructure in Huda-Vendigar is just fine. How's available labor in Ankara? Pretty good. There's vacuum canning. Wonderful. This is actually really... Huh. Oh, because I don't have any oil. Dumb. Should have thought of that. Let's get some oil rigs going. These produce, what, 40 oil a pot? 60? 60. We'll produce 3 oil rigs in Mosul. And put them right up in front of the lead mines. All right. That said, this was never going to be a mega episode, so we're going to put a pin in it here. I've really taxed my economy to the limit here, but I'm hoping we can continue to expand all this and keep things growing. For the moment, though, I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time, and I will see you all on the other side.